Welcome to Destination Diaries, the podcast where we explore how to make all your former memories jealous. I'm John Henry, and I'm being joined today by Kim and Stephen, who just came back from an exciting trip to Italy. It's good to see you, Kim and Steve. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you for having us.
Good to see you as well.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Your adventure started back on September 12th, very recently, when you departed Newark to Rome, and then you returned 9 days later from Florence. Had you ever been to Italy before?
Never.
No. Those are actually our first overseas trip as a couple, and it was amazing. We're hooked.
It seems that Italy is one of those destinations that inspires travelers to return over and over again. It seems to have, so much to see, so much to do, and many different regions that all have their own personality and very long history. Tell us, what was your trip like, what you enjoyed most, and what your favorite parts were?
So we start in Rome. Because this was our first time in Italy, we just kind of felt obliged to do the touristy things, but you don't feel like a tourist when you're there. You just feel kind of immersed in the culture. So we start in Rome. We do how many days there?
3 days.
3 days there. So Colosseum and the Forum, the Vatican, which is obviously incredibly gorgeous. A little bit of walking around. What was that city we really liked?
Oh, and Trastevere.
Yeah, Trastevere was excellent.
Explored a little bit of the neighborhoods outside of the center of the city.
Yeah, just walking down the block was exciting when you're not from there. From there, we took the train, which was clean, safe, excellent, fast, to Florence. Get to Florence, settle in a bit, and what were the highlights there?
Well, from Florence, we did a lot of jumping off into different places. So we were able to go to Pisa and Siena, Cinque Terre,
which was incredible.
Tuscany.
Yeah.
And then Florence itself was, I could have used another 5 days in Florence.
Yeah. So our trip is 9 days tip to top. And to your point about returning, I think we've probably got 4 or 5 more trips there to see everything that we've missed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We do the Uffizi while we're in Florence, which is obviously a must do. Ate as much as we could possibly eat. So we hit a lot of key topics.
Great. Did anything surprise you?
The driving.
Yeah, if you're from an American city, you end up finding that the street level experience in these cities is much different. There's not a ton of cars. It's not just a continuous flow of traffic. People and cars share the street. But when the cars want to come through, they come through.
Yeah.
I heard that the cars not only share the street, but they also share the sidewalk sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a place a car can't go.
Yeah.
But they have the cutest little cars, which is kind of exciting. As far as surprising, I think that maybe the age of things for an American audience is something that takes you aback. You're not, you can watch as many YouTubes as you want, but you're not prepared to touch a wall that's been there for 2,000 years or to see an object that was carved, 700 BC. It is a moment for sure when you're just walking around. This is normal every day to, the locals, but for us, it's definitely a much different experience.
Yeah. Did the hotel seem very different from what you're used to here in the United States?
Not so different than if you're used to city hotels, then you would be pretty much right in line with what's normal. They're small, but clean, friendly staff. I would say.
No issues at all.
Clearly, everyone is catering to a global audience, so they all speak English very well. They're all very attentive. And the hotels you chose were obviously beautiful and well located, which is why you use a travel agent, at all.
Well, the first hotel that you stayed at was part of what's called the Il Monastero collection, which was in the heart of Rome. And it was originally a monastery. And I read that part of the structure actually went back to the year 1600.
It
Mm-hmm.
did right outside
So
our window. If you look to the left, you were basically
yeah,
looking at the Roman Forum. It
Mm-hmm.
was amazing.
wow. So I was with so much history and charm and accommodations that go, have buildings or parts of buildings that go back so far. You're always, want to make sure that they've been updated a little bit since the 1600s,
Yeah.
Just a
so that
little bit,
they're
yeah.
clean, comfortable.
No, they were
Um,
nothing wrong with the rooms.
No, yeah, everything. I mean, you're
It was
not
like any other
any other
modern
hotel,
hotel.
yeah, in the world.
Yeah.
Clean towels,
Temperature control.
nice warm water, nothing strange.
and then you stayed at the Hotel Corona
Mm-hmm.
d'Italia in Florence. That was your
Hmm.
home for the second portion of your
Mm-hmm.
trip. How was its location and
Perfect.
also its level of service? Tell us a little bit about that.
That one was perfect because we literally got off at the train station
It
and
was
it
a
was the
5 minute walk to
block
the,
over. And
yeah,
then every morning when we would have to go meet our tour groups, it was like a
little
15-minute
14,
walk,
yeah.
but it was a walk through the most beautiful part of town. So kind of look forward to the walk every day, I would
Yeah,
say. And the location was
I would
couldn't have been
say
better.
the one of these things that maybe you don't think of right away when you're booking an overseas trip is that your travel advisor likely is keeping things in mind that you're not, which is, putting you in the middle of where you're going to be
Mm,
spidering out from, because a half an hour trip to your starting point in the morning can be a little bit of a bummer because it could be early, and yeah, you put us in the middle of everything without it feeling city like. So that would be my main takeaway from the second hotel. And then Il Monastero collection, I think a very important thing to say about that is when you walk out your door in the morning, you're looking at the Circus Maximus.
mm.
So you're just looking at this field that has been there for thousands of years, and again, it's just a matter of perspective. It's very special.
And you always felt safe.
I have to say, a lot of people told us that Italy was known for whatever, crime. We never felt unsafe. I can say
Now
that literally.
the street level experience. So we're more or less New Yorkers. We live in New Jersey. We're in New York many times a week. The street level experience in both Rome and Florence, at least in the areas that we were present in, was perhaps better than New York City or other American cities. There did not appear to be any unsavory characters. All hours of the day into the evening, no one approached us. I mean, it was these were beautiful cities that seemed to be very well regulated.
Was the food as wonderful as it always sounds to be?
It really was.
Ooh.
I kept saying you can't have a bad meal, even if you're just grabbing something from a cart. It's going to be the best sandwich you ever
Yeah,
had.
I want to say for my part, I actually lost 2 pounds on this trip. So I thought maybe I was going to gain weight, but I came back, I think, healthier. So maybe we should go more often.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Kim got it right. I mean, everything from street food to we went to the Hotel Eden for a very special dinner on our anniversary
In Rome.
Mm-hmm. And so from everything from the highest level experience you can have in dining to, we didn't really, on Kim's advice, really get too particular about planning this part of our trip. You would just kind of walk into a place and it was perfect. You were made to feel at home. Waits were very limited. Food is obviously excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Staff is attentive, speaks more than enough English to be helpful, and the food is obviously incredible.
And the gelato.
Gelato
Yes,
for
and the
breakfast.
gelato. We may have overindulged in gelato a little bit.
Oh, that is wonderful. It sounds yummy.
Yes.
I think one of the tours that you took while you were in Florence was to Cinque Terre. Was that part of your trip?
Yes.
And probably, I mean, at least for me, maybe the most memorable.
Yeah.
Those are experiences and views you're not getting in the States, at least.
I think that was my favorite day.
Yeah.
What was that like when you got over there? How long did it take? How long of a journey was it from?
2 hours?
Yeah, so the drive was a little long, but the tour company, at least that you set us up with, was excellent. And I think something worth highlighting for people who haven't traveled to Italy, at least, is that we learned through our guides who are so talkative and helpful that they're all licensed by the government. So often these people have master's degrees in the subject that they're helping you through. So they're so willing to teach even while you're just in the bus or
Even while you're
in
driving.
in your little kind of small motor coach. And the drive is nice. You're open minded to seeing anything new. So the mountains are exciting, the cities are exciting, the gas stations are exciting. And then you
Gas stations are very exciting, actually.
yeah, actually,
Um,
they sell wine in the gas stations, which is
no,
kind of
but once you get to Cinque Terre, I mean, it's like nothing I've ever seen in my life. It's hard to even
you come over the hill
comprehend
and
it.
you kind of see the first city and you're like, wait, are we going there? And
Mm.
the way our trip was arranged is we drive to one city, then we take a boat to another one of the Cinque Terre towns, which was just kind of great to see it from the water.
Mm.
And then they're so efficient, these tours, at scooping you back up and then taking you to another place. So whatever tour that is, John, I mean, I could not
Mm.
recommend it highly enough.
Mm.
And the idea of taking tours, I mean, maybe turns some people off because they feel like they're getting like a package or you're getting kind of a pre-planned experience. This tour company does not make you feel like you're just a number. You're really getting access at a speed you could never figure out if you're not a local. You'd never be able to see all the things we saw in one day because you'd be just very clumsily making your way around. So I think tours are a great way to see Italy the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like you picked some really good ones, or we picked them together.
Well, you picked them for us. We didn't pick
picked
anything.
Ones that had a good reputation, and it's hard to find any that don't really. They're spectacular. I think you always want to be careful not to be over programmed. Because you want to do, some of what you did where you just kind of bump into things
Mm-hmm.
that are of interest. You want to have a little bit of wiggle room so that, you're not always sitting on a bus, but you get out and you can explore and you can find, a restaurant on your own just because it smelled so good when you walked by it,
Mm.
an hour before, things like that. And I'm glad that, the tours that you're talking about, they're not just, many hours sitting on a bus. They include, some movement, getting around, mingling with the locals, and really kind of experiencing the culture and what the region has to offer. That's great to hear. And I know that the tour companies that we use over there will be very grateful to hear it as well, that they're doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Some very obviously they're professionals at this. So things that you're not thinking about, like it's a 2.5 hour drive. You're going to need a bathroom break in the middle. They already have that factored in. They know that they're stopping at a nice, clean, well established gas station that's going to have snacks if you've got low blood sugar, some waters if you want to drink. They have umbrellas in all of their trucks because they know it rains. I mean, you're on vacation. You're kind of, your head's in the clouds a little bit, and they've got all these things just ready to go to really fill these gaps that you've likely completely let go the minute you got on an
Mm-hmm.
airplane. They're ready to fix almost any problem. There was one experience where there was people who had mobility issues. They're just working with a cane. They seemed more than prepared to just address that problem, help them. They knew where the elevators were. These are clearly professionals. They're not doing this as a hobby.
Yeah.
This is what they do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am very happy to hear this because I tell you, when you're over there, I'm, you know, I'm there with you in a way because I'm looking at your schedule every day.
Mm.
Where are they today? How is everything going? I hope that
Mm-hmm.
they've, made it to the train, that they've gotten to, that they found the location where their tour starts okay, and that, you're having a good time. There's a lot of preparation that goes into organizing and planning a vacation like this.
Mm.
And it was my pleasure to help you explore Europe and, in particular, Italy for the first time. And it was great to see you today on this Destination Diaries podcast. I want to thank you for joining us. And I want to invite all of our viewers to stay connected with us by subscribing to our channel, Destination Diaries. I think there's also this at Harbor Close Travel, what they call the YouTube handle. When you subscribe, like, and share our channel with others, you tell YouTube to put our content in front of more people. And that's a very wonderful thing for us, especially since our channel is brand new. So I want to thank you for watching. Remember, pack light, travel bright, and be safe. See you next time. And Kim and Stephen, thank you very much for being with us. It's great to see you. And we look forward to exploring other vacations and trips in the future together.
Absolutely.
We've got more work to do, John. We've got some more cities we want to go to.
Great. Well, you've come to the right place, and I'm happy to help you explore those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.